to be able to score on top. I mean, I would venture to say 80% of the matches come down to parterre.
We'll just see who Bulgaria sends out here. They've got two guys listed again. Yanakiev. I don't believe this is him, is it? You've seen these guys more than I have. Hopefully.
Yeah, this is him.
Okay, so we will update our graphics here a bit.
This should be an interesting match here. Bisek has been wrestling very tough. You know, he went over to Russia, even though he didn't place in that tournament, but he still showed some signs that he's coming along just fine. So this is going to be real interesting to see how he responds to this international match.
Had a solid win last round out. Bisek out of Chaska, Minnesota. Part of the Minnesota Storm growing up, the USOEC. Mentioned a lot of these athletes from the USOEC. The older ones, like Jake Fisher and Andrew Bisek, have had a real rough week dealing with the loss of Jacob Kirby. You know, really hurt the Greco program pretty deep, and you know it's been pretty rough. And you know what did an athlete like? You know, you having to coach against Kirby. What did he really bring to the table? You know, having to coach against somebody like him.
Well, I mean, first of all, Kirby was just a great person. You know, and he's surely he's going to be missed, not only in the wrestling community but just in the community in general. But he was a fighter, you know, and even though I had to coach against him from time to time, but a little part of me was rooting for him a little bit because he works hard and he worked hard and never gave you any problems in practice. Always was eager to learn and listen to what you had to say, regardless if you were his main coach or not. So he definitely was a coach's type of athlete. One of the guys that you never want to see leave, because he just makes the room better. He makes the atmosphere better, just the type of person he was.
Okay, Cody Bickley letting us know this is Ivayo Saykov, the other guy. The other guy, so.
Okay. 74 kilos, we got that right, though, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
What's a kilo? Now, as far as the U.S. Army's world-class athlete program, a very dominant force in Greco-Roman, and we talk about it constantly. But as far as trying to basically recruiting athletes to join the WCAP, I mean, how is that?
Well, I mean, interesting that you asked that. We just had a change here that's for the better. Now our blue-chip athletes are guys that want to come to the world-class athlete program. Now we can put it in their contract so they can enlist for the world-class athlete program. Before even though we're batting 1,000 with me putting guys in, bringing guys into the military and putting them in the world-class athlete program, there was still a little slight possibility that we might run into some bumps. But now, with guys being able to go to the recruiter and sign up for the world-class athlete program, is a guarantee, if you will. I mean, it's always been pretty much a guarantee if I told a guy that, I want to put you in a world-class athlete program, but now it's actually on paper. You have something to take home to your mom and dad, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever, and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Here it is right here on paper.
Early going here, second period, Andrew Bisek and Iviako Saykov of Bulgaria. Underhook and pressure applied by Bisek. Now, Bulgarian trying to get inside control. Hanging on the 2-on-1 tie is Bisek. The thing is, you can't just be any Joe on the street and be like, I want to go in the world-class athlete program. You got to hit some benchmarks, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, no different than wrestling in Okie State or Iowa State. Some of the top colleges here. You got to bring something to the table if you want to get a scholarship or be recruited by those schools or those clubs. So, guys have to bring something to the table. They have to have some type of accolades with them before they come into the world-class athlete program. But with this Northern Michigan and guys here at the OTC and other guys across the country, we don't have too many problems, finding those type of guys.
Bisek with a nice snap and throw with the underhook, gets the 1-point takedown. Looked like he kind of basically baited his opponent trying to go with a push out, and when they applied reverse pressure, just boom, used the underhook and threw him right by. That was pretty slick.
Yeah, that was a nice off balance there. I mean,
Bisek with a body lock. Oh, is he going to get the push out? How's it going to happen? We get push out, one red. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to give it a shot, but still didn't put himself in too much danger with that body lock.
Yeah, and Bisek, I mean, he's the perfect body type for this weight class. I mean, he's lanky but not overly lanky, and he's strong. Good leg power, and he has good gas, so he gets after it.
Weight class that's been kind of dominated by, at least in the last year, Harry Lester. Waiting, it remains to be seen what he's going to do. And Bisek might have an opening to be on a world team. And again, Jake Fisher also at the weight, and another group of these guys from northern Michigan.
Yeah, wrestling's kind of funny. You never know. Somebody's somewhere out there training right now. So when some of these, 18-year-olds, by the time the Olympics come around, they'll be 20 years old, and some of the 20-year-olds will be 22, and blah, blah, blah. But there'll be guys jumping out of the woodworks here in the next 6 to 9 months.
High gut, 2, and the hold is going to give Bisek a 5-0 lead and 2 more. So he's going to end up winning this one 7-0, as it looks like after getting down, the Bulgarian just says, all right, well, this period's over. Now, what's the strategy there to try to reserve some strength?
No, I think it's more so that he's tired. I mean, if you think about it, the rules going into the third period, if it goes 0-0 in 90 seconds, then Bisek is going to have the choice top or bottom because he scored more points in the first 2 periods. So I see that mistake a lot by some athletes. If they know they're going to lose a period, they don't mind giving up. They don't think about the next period.
Well, the rule changes now. This isn't the same rules that we had in 2007 when the U.S. wins the World Championship. Where, all right, well, the aggregate points mean nothing.
Right.
Because the ball draws.
Right.
Now the aggregate points mean something. So
absolutely. Correct. So, I mean, that was smart on Bisek's part. He could have sat on the lead and just let the time expire, but he kept scoring. So, if we get into a situation where there's no point scored here in the next 90 seconds, then, again, Bisek's going to have the opportunity to go up or down in the part chair position.
Well, getting out of that head and arm scenario. Now working the underhook to the near side. Hand fighting on the far side.
The Bulgarian looks pretty gassed right about now, but you got to play it safe and you got to short arms and stay in position because they'll try to sneak one on you.
Leading with the head is Bisek. Almost stepped out. Bisek really trying to push the action. 1:12 to go, third period. Lost the first one, but was dominant in the second.
So here we go, 30 seconds now.
He's going to have the choice. He's got the underhook. Looks like he tried to throw him by again. Now Bisek got to maintain his presence where the center of the mat is. We're at 74 kilos here at the Kit Carson Cup. The U.S. Olympic Training Center, Colorado Springs, Colorado, along with Sean Lewis, Jason Bryant here bringing you all the action all day long on themat.com. Bisek almost dropping the shoulder.
Yeah,
Where's the pigskin?
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And here we go. Bisek's call here.
12 o'clock round, so he's going to have the choice. Total points. Put the bag down.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. They get a little confused sometimes with the the scoring and all that, and the officials. So this is good for the officials being able to again sharpen their tools and get things together going into the Dave Schultz.
So parterre, Bisek will say, I'm going to go down. I think our intern is biased towards the Army, too.
Yeah, just a tad.
Another good example will be over there on the far mat with Mr. Barber getting some international experience.
It's huge.
I mean, a kid like that,
priceless.
When's he going to ever wrestle a guy from Uzbekistan?
Yeah, priceless. I don't even know if he's on the ranking chart at that weight class right now. Is he?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't have him in front of me. Bisek trying to swim out, crawling forward. So again, create that friction between the mat and the hands. It's really hard to keep your grip when somebody crawls forward like that. Pressure on the mat, heavy on the hips. 10 seconds to go. Bisek,
name of the game right here.
Bisek crawling forward, circling in. 3, 2, and 1. So Bisek's going to go and take the match 1-0. So a solid win by Andrew Bisek here at 74.
That was a great win right there. It's good for his confidence, and he deserved that win right there.